Well, let's get to what you were doing there before we wrap this one up, Ted. You're going to be with Kama as he faces the Undertaker at this one. And I've got a video right now. It's our only clip of the week. It's a refresher on what the stakes were for this particular match. Here we go.
At WrestleMania 11, one dared to cross that line again. Under the influence of the diabolic million-dollar man, Ted DiBiase, the supreme fighting machine, Kama, stole the one possession from which The Undertaker claimed he gained his mystical power, the sacred urn. Then, to throw yet more dirt on the coffin, Kama melted down the Grim Reaper's guiding light and hung it as a symbolic trophy around his massive neck. With the absence of his sacred urn, The Undertaker reached out to his creatures of the night to utilize their power as his driving force. The creatures were, as always, there for him, carrying a black wreath with them at all times in protest of Kama's callous actions. Unfortunately for them, the wreath was nothing more than a thorn in the big man's side. With the look of death in his black pupils, the supreme fighting machine took it upon himself to rip the creature's symbol of death to shreds in the middle of the ring. Then, to the shock of all, the last deadly sin was committed. After a creature of the night climbed into the ring in an attempt to gather the torn symbol of darkness, Kama attacked him like a rabid dog. In an act of pure hatred, he picked up the creature of the night and slammed him down to the hard canvas. To The Undertaker, this was an act that blackened his darkest cloud. Deep within his dark soul, Kama's funeral procession had already begun. Due to the actions of Kama, World Wrestling Federation Interim President Gorilla Monsoon immediately ordered that the much-anticipated matchup between The Undertaker and Kama at SummerSlam be a casket match.
All right, brother. So, a lot going on there. The diabolical $1 Million Man. We've got a melted urn, and we've got a casket match. So, Ted, just watching that back all these years later, how does it strike you? Good wrestling angle?
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it was, especially for those characters, And but the thing, the guy who, the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
I was there the first time. Well, I introduced him.
That's right.
But I don't think anybody realized just what a big star that The Undertaker would become.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and he did. He did a great job.
And even during this
period, and on top of that, he's a real nice guy.
A great human being. I've had the pleasure of being around him once, and everything I've heard about him though was just what a fantastic person he is. Yeah, what's interesting about Taker during this time is he's clearly positioned as one of the top attractions in the WWF. However, he's pretty much a mid-carder through most of the mid-90s, where you've got Diesel on top and you've got Bret on top. He'll make appearances in the main event, but for the most part, he's doing these kind of mid-card angles and storylines. I mean, you'd been around him now for 5 years at this point. He debuted in 1990 at Survivor Series. Yeah. So, Ted, I want to ask you, when you're looking at him and this character and you see that it's really over, did you view him back during this time as okay, that's a guy who could and should be in the main event?
Yeah, obviously there were times when, yeah, sure. But you can't always be in the main event.
No. Can't be and shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, that's, the only guy who would be in the main event every night would be a world champion.
Yep.
Defending his title, and God bless that guy too, because he's gonna go.
He's gonna put on some hard miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last question. We're wrapping this one up. Ted.
Yeah.
The casket match in wrestling. The gimmick here, of course, is that there's a casket at ringside, and you want to stuff your opponent into the casket and close the lid to get the victory. What do you think of the concept? As somebody who was raised in wrestling, an old school mentality, what are Ted DiBiase's thoughts on a casket match?
Well, I mean, you know what? Everything's a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a gimmick, and if you can come up with a new and a unique gimmick, a new idea. I mean, I thought that was, what a deal. I mean, especially for whoever's going to lose that match. you know, like to be, I would go kicking and screaming. You know, it's like if you were going to put me in a coffin,
Right.
and shut it. You know, it's like no way in hell, buddy. But I mean, but that's what it was. That's what it was, and so That's what they did.
I thought it was genius myself. Like, it plays on people's claustrophobia. Who wants to be closed in a damn casket, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So no, great stuff. And Kama would lose the match to the Undertaker there at SummerSlam, of course. And we're moving down the road.